All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. All right, and the spirit of contention, all right, is heightened. Okay, and as you see before you, there's this article from RT News, and it says another uprising. Black Lives Matter pickets restaurant over incident with enforcing New York City's V-Pass. Okay, which there was an incident not too long ago involving three women who were asked, to show a pass in order to get into a restaurant, and it ended up turning into a physical altercation because they didn't want to adhere to that. Okay, which that's the whole point of it. All right, it's common sense. It's very anticipated that putting or creating a society like this is going to cause division, which is going to lead to contention. All right, and when you look up that word contention, it says here heated disagreement. Now, what happens when you have a heated disagreement without self-restraint? It becomes physical. Okay, it says argument, dispute, okay, friction, quarreling, conflict, hostility. And that's what they want, and that's what they're getting. All right. Now it says after three Texan women were arrested for attacking a Carmine's hostess who enforced NYC's V-Pass rules, Black Lives Matter picketed the restaurant and called out the government for its policy's racist impact. You hear that? And what is that a factor of, or you know what scripture can come to mind is Second Ezra the 15th chapter, because now people are looking at the government as the cause of all of this, although it's affecting them. And being that this is still fairly recent, fairly new, the cases and the recordings and the stories, there's still more to come. All right. This because for some people it hasn't had time to really sink in yet. As to what's actually happening and what's taking place. For some people they're almost oblivious to it until they forget, and then they try to go into a restaurant. You spend game. You finally get this chick you've always wanted to take out. You set up a date, forgetting that these other dates have been put in place, and you guys pick a nice restaurant and you go there and they say, yo, you can't come in unless you got such and such. Imagine how heated you would be. So a lot more of these incidents are going to start taking place because according to prophecy and by design, contention is going to lead to violence. All right, it's going to lead to some very violent situations. Now, recently, I saw something, a post, which was mentioned, and somebody got shot. All right, they got killed for telling somebody else to wear a mask. Okay, so what do you think is going to start happening to these people who are these regular store employees that are expected to enforce these regulations? Soon their lives are going to be at risk. They're going to be getting threatened. They're going to be getting assaulted, punched in the face, spat on, verbally assaulted. Now, given it's not them who made it, who made the rules, but when somebody gets upset like that, who do you think they're going to take it out on? Right? So it says activists with Black Lives Matter of Greater New York picketed the Italian restaurant on the Upper West Side on Monday night, confronting both staff and patrons and calling Carmine's racist and fascist over last week's incident. I charge Carmine's with trying, or Carmen's, however it's pronounced, with trying to cover up their employees' actions by using the VP, the VPAS, the VP, okay, the VIP, as an excuse, said BLM New York leader Hawk Newsom, who led the protest. And now what you're starting to see is every 2 seconds there's BLM everywhere. You know, all of a sudden BLM here, BLM there, everywhere. But what is this? This is just because they've made it like protests are like fires, like wildfires that just keep spreading and spreading and spreading. So if you can have a reason to start one, then and if you can keep that fire going, you can have a nice little situation on your hand. So now they're saying here that they're protesting racism and fascism because of this event that took place. So let's play this video real quick. So there you see it. You saw that the image, not the image, the tension. You had that Edomite looking dude, and then you had Jake. And you can see it already in the air right there. Now they basically, it's like it's turned into a situation of one people standing up against another. All right. Now as they do this, and more other stores, like I said, more and more incidents come out of more and more other stores, trying to enforce this and people not trying to comply, or there misunderstandings here and there, things are gonna start to get violent. All right, it's inevitable. You can see it. Anybody that can see, with a foresight, you can see that these things are gonna start getting out of hand. And what is that gonna do? That's gonna bring the justification, because you wonder why they stand down and allow these things to get out of hand before they do something. Because they want to make sure that when they act, they are justified based on how out of hand things have gotten. Okay? So that spirit of contention is in the air, and ultimately that's part of prophecy. Okay? And that's why the scriptures talk about everybody, turning to their own man, and one people standing up to fight against another. Now it says New York City was the first jurisdiction in the U.S. to require proof of V for entering restaurants and other venues. The policy went into effect September 13th. Just 3 days later, NYPD arrested Sally Rachel, Louis Katia, and Ngi Ningi. All right, if I'm saying that right, Rankin and Tayoni. Yo, Jake with these names, man. Keisha Rankin, and charged them with assault and criminal mischief after a video emerged of them assaulting a Carmine's hostess. They were released without bail. All right, and pretty much, let's take a look at this here. There's a security footage of what apparently looks like the event that took place. So let's see what happened here. Damn. And you can see with that, I mean, they didn't really, you know, do anything out of crazy crazy, you know, but I mean, this is just the beginning. So we're gonna wait and see. And I think that was pretty much the altercation there. I don't think they yeah, that's pretty much how it goes until the end. All right, and so as you saw there, of course they were heated, they were they were frustrated. All right, I guess this is the narration of what happened. It said, let's see, it says Carmen's owner Jeffrey Bank, however, called the statement false and the attack on his employees entirely unprovoked. In response to the BLM protest, Bank released surveillance footage of the incident to the press on Tuesday. At no point did the women mention that any of the hosts ever made a racial slur, nor did the women say that to the police officers who arrested them, nor did anyone hear such a slur. Bank told New York Post, "This is because none of our hosts, all of them who are people of color, ever uttered such a slur." Okay, so you have all this, going on. It says, BLM, we're putting NYC on notice. Check this out. That your mandate will not be another racist social distance practice. The V pass is not a free passport to racism. Okay, so I mean, of course you have agents, and a lot of things are orchestrated. You also have some so-called sincere people that are want to actually do something about this, and so they join. Now, amidst all of this, you have the whole situation going on at the border with the Levites. Okay, and now they on horseback whipping them, and all these different things, which Esau is gonna pay for that. All right, but that's that spirit that the Lord is putting on the earth to show this, that he's having this devil show his horns. All right, he's having people realize that these guys are not playing games with you anymore. All right, they're getting ready to come down with great wrath, and they don't care how it looks. They don't care how they look, and they don't care how it looks, and they don't care how it makes you feel. Okay, because ultimately they've been blessed with the sword, and guess what? That's exactly what they intend to use. Okay, but this, as you see what's going on in Australia, in Italy, in France, in certain parts of the UK, okay, a lot of people are pushing back against this. But these rulers, they don't really have an option. That's part of the agenda, and that's why you had Biden going up talking about some. You need they need as a world, right? You need like a world coalition to address this, and then make sure that this comes to, that they're able to help each other get fully, V'd up. All right. Now this is real quick. This is Second Ezra 9:3, and this is going into as the Lord, the angel, was telling Ezra to measure the times diligently. Slakia, part of the signs that he showed him was verse 3, Second Ezra 9:3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and what uproars of the people in the world, and that's exactly what's going on today. There's uproars of the people in the world and earthquakes unlike other, left and right. All right, of different magnitudes. But as it says here, when you see these things, what? Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right, and what was spoken about these things? Well, it was spoken that these will be signs of the end. It was spoken that these would amplify and get worse up until a time like never before. Okay, so don't be surprised when you hear more and more of these incidents start taking place, because contention is in the air and these mandates are only like pouring gasoline on fire. Okay, is this about to cause the fire to rise and spiral out of control? And this thing is going to cause major divisions, man. It's breaking up friendships, relationships, families. Okay, and it's to the point where, like I said, the Lord has put that kind of spirit on the earth, okay, to where that sedition, and that haven't seen each other, being at odds, friends fighting one another like enemies. Guess what? That's all coming out, and it's only going to amplify. The more mandates come out, the more ridiculous they get, and the more upset people get. They're going to start taking it out on these so-called workers, all right, that are enforcing them, and eventually they're going to realize, yo, you putting the workers' health at risk. You're going to need to start hiring security. That's what they're going to do. A lot of these stores are going to need to start hiring security to enforce these different policies, because it's going to get so ridiculous. People are not going to be willing to comply. Now you saw this take place at a restaurant. Now, how much more for when the supermarkets, when you can't go to the supermarkets, the grocery stores, the bodegas, okay? When you can't go to public parks, when you can't get on the train, when you can't get on the bus, what you think people gonna be doing? The bus driver tells you can't get on here, and it's not gonna end well, man. All right, but hey, our job as watchmen is to keep watching for these signs, okay, and to warn the sheep, because we see through the spirit what the end goal is, okay, and it's looking like a whole lot of hell. So with that, I'm gonna end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Until next time, Shalom.